Malega, they are told the young Peter woman in our lady, Namu put a mess for Hunyantare, a time or a chicho video, Yodoba. Yojimia Kubuako, go chili, go volley. Don't talk for a lower. Immediately out of the Dianila, the Yoyela. You need out of the Tiote, Joe, Yanin is a hooker last, Ravoli. Go for lower. To Lord, Yojimu, she was also no. No Panga Josagus Rapilla Jamaye called the detail no what Josagus Rapilla. Pero Sita leve Shamu solution, I don't know. The Guago don't have for lower. Pamaso, Yonchima Luluya. Yonchi Suraga go to the 50 to Yato the 50. Pupil Yogo Jonah resolution. Joshi, she Timothy. Chin like that, seeing Dr. Yao. Hell, Saragat something else, Joshi, saying now. Papaya something else, Timothy, saying now. Julie, then let me say, no. Take a yoga, come out. Loda, Joe, all of my that teacher. That is saying, no, dear. Sheep are Yogi who are leve. Keep all over. Yogi, which he had the road, Jamaya the Conway. Jamaya Suraga, Lower Jamayi calling up Bukona. Gugala, Lower Jamayi called to a machine of Baba. Lower Jamayi called to Atolum Shit of the Wama. Taro Ekamobo. Say, touch of what a day you were. Load who load on as a Lucia. Go Churijago for the forever, Churijago Pomudaya. Matisa when a Kizu sauna, but the Veda Tiji sauna, but I shiver at Tashi sauna. I'm very able. Machida go told your body to your teaching of Wajwara. Era American Lucida, she taps on the Korea. The other the Pugurima era Yijiva. Let me Yijira to choose I since some of them. Ye in the body, could let them remember when Susa Atoka. Hello, Atoka Kama, Kaliana Mita, Kore, Kotansiam Yaga, Tindalo, Buddha Aluja, Siam Yai Ora Rotai, Kuyu Yavi Solution, the Yogi Garo, which I came. The other body retreat about it. Chojo said, Yona diary for ma. A good ship, a good pietola. How get this says to the body. That they will go on feet or whatever. လက်ရှိပိုင်ရောက်လာပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ရှေ့ဆက်တာအထုဒီဘဝမှာတရားထုရောက်ဖို့တော့သိကြပါတယ်ဒီမှာအဲ့ဒါမနေ့ကပြောခဲ့တဲ့ဟာလေးကိုပြန်ပြီးတော့သတိရအောင်ပေါ့လေအချုပ်ပြန်ပြီးတော့ပြောပါတယ်သိရေးကြည့်လို့ပြောရတာပါ
Yesterday, Sayadawgyi spoke about the 5 qualities that meditating yogis need to come to possess according to what the Buddha taught. And Sayadawgyi mentioned this in summary yesterday. So the yogis need to examine their life, their situation. Coming here to practice, do I have faith in this practice? And if I practice according to the method, is it true that I can gain an effective result? So do I have faith in this? So if we are wavering about this, if we lack faith, then effective effort won't arise. And no matter how good our health is, without faith, effort will not arise. And even if our attitude is upright and honest, still without effort, without faith, effort won't arise. So whatever one is going to do, one should trust. And if one is going to do or say something, one is encountering the opportunity to do or say something for one's own benefit or for the benefit of others, one should have the ability to reflect, is this beneficial or not that I'm about to do? This is called sataka sampajanya, clear comprehension of whether something is beneficial or not. And further, is this action or speech, this plan, is it suitable or not? This is called sappaya sampajanya, clear comprehension of suitability. When something we're going to do or say is both beneficial and suitable, if we do that thing, then it is sure that benefits will come. And also faith will arise from what we do. Confidence in what we're doing will arise. And just as one needs to have faith in what one is doing, one also needs to have health. Today, there's no one who's completely healthy. So, as Sayadawgyi mentioned, if we were going to wait until we had perfect health to undertake the practice, we wouldn't ever do it. So this quality of having good health is not a fixed amount. It's not possible to quantify this amount and say exactly how much health we need. Further, honesty, being upright and honest, is very important. If one is going to do something, then one has to be open about one's limitations and one's faults. And one shouldn't hide one's faults. And one shouldn't pretend to be free of fault when one isn't. One shouldn't also pretend to have qualities that one doesn't possess. One shouldn't talk about qualities that one doesn't have, trying to impress other people. And if these habits, if these behaviors of pretending about covering our faults or pretending about qualities we don't have, if these are not things that we do, then one is upright. And meditators need to have this type of quality of being upright and honest. Furthermore, practice requires continuous, courageous effort. And, if at this time, I'm not finished, but I can't quite, I lost the track of what I was saying. So one needs to have courageous and continuous effort in the practice. And at this time, if one has the help of a good spiritual friend, a Kalyana Metta, who can give guidance according to what the Buddha taught as needed, then in a short time one will be able to develop in the practice, and one will come to know very well mind and matter, how these arise due to cause and effect, how they are related as cause and effect, and how they arise and pass away very quickly. If one reaches this stage in the practice, then continue, because you are sure to gain special Dhamma. So because this topic is very important, Sayadawgyi is saying it again to remind the yogis about it.
Yogiya Jinya Ma Kauma Taibiro Mara Le Kauni Jobe Jinya Ma Makaulo Shi Taimaya Makau Dede Lita the Jinya Take Yekiva Toromia Yogi Yaro Jinya Mako Take Uzama Pijao Uzama Pero Teaga Turu Shaja Yi Totela Ramshi Seki Yemule Shibiro Dinyane Tu Shaja Totela Ramshi Jongsha Kila Lucia Zinya Amagolo Suraboli Zinya Tamari Kawamia Lo Suraboli Tamakoche Chaluya Vada A Tese Madira Leve Turu Uyari Lonely Lo Suraboli Turu Ugari Ludo Dinya Shake a whole net teller on she would waro. Edari Koche Chaluya Vada Yogi Chi Goa Kayutavi Solution Yogi Atote Neperema Yogi Tao Chejoma We are a look, Basaya a look. Lucia Tana, Twabita Logi Solution Loa Peak Painheimer Lungashinia Leve Luca Pimava, Soya Luca Pimava Luchema Coca Neluciano to Yale Tinide Coca to Leve No Laza Pivos Table The Lungama Leve Celebiro Lopos are Leve when you take it on Ned or the Bada. Any local Logi Umali in the Shibiro Yogi Nede Yola Yogi Town Yogi Loma Town, the Shilavi Solution. Any Yogi Loma Town, you Chief Yumuya at Tripoli. Yechi's over Soraboli. Very safely, the Muibi Uluare.
Only if the walking meditation is good will the sitting meditation be good. Walking meditation is very important. And many yogis, however, do not give priority to walking meditation and therefore they don't have any special progress in the practice. They don't develop a pure mind, and they don't develop knowledge. If one examines the cause, it is because their walking meditation is not good, and the samadhi developed in walking meditation is not good. And furthermore, people don't observe their general activities in detail, and that is another reason for knowledge not to develop yet. So if one has taken on the role of a yogi, if one is in the realm or the world of meditators, then it's only worthwhile if one is going to fulfill the responsibility of a yogi. If we think in terms of the world, if we have a job where we get paid for what we do, if we don't put in the amount of effort required, if we don't do the things that are needed to do the job, then our superiors won't want to give us very much money, whether it's a public job or whether it's a private job. No one is going to want to give you very much money if you don't give full energy to it. And so if one is lazy about doing one's work, then it's not easy to get paid, and one won't have much chance for either continuing or advancing. So if one is a yogi, there's a responsibility that one has, and the most important thing for the yogi is to fulfill that responsibility. So one should nurture this attitude, this mental attitude. A few days ago, Sayadawgyi began to speak about how to practice walking meditation. And he mentioned that, first of all, one starts out by observing one step at a time, one part for each step, noting left step, right step, or stepping, to relieve aches and stiffness, and also so as not to let the mind wander. And going from there to observing lifting and then placing. As soon as the foot starts to lift up, making the mind stick to the action, the movement of the leg. As soon as the foot starts to drop down, all the way until the end, sticking the mind to the whole movement of the putting down of the leg. And especially the third part, where one observes 3 parts to each step: lifting, moving, and then placing. To do this slowly, lift up slowly, move slowly, place slowly, as much as one can, so that one can observe carefully. Because when one moves slowly, one has the time to observe carefully the movements, each in their time. If one doesn't work respectfully or with meticulous care or continually, then the walking meditation won't be good. And when the walking meditation is not good, the sitting meditation also will not be good, and knowledge will not have a chance to arise. So the teachers have the attitude that they want to help the yogis who have come here. And so they want the yogis to be able to develop clear knowledge, and they want the yogis to be satisfied with the Dhamma, with the practice, even so much so that they never want to let it go. This is what the teachers would like to see.
Padamazo yogiya buddhi mathabuwa shukwe poge stay aside cheikai nyeswa shumapa sura body. The Goloma Shutia Ayo Quincy Jiva Duara Nanchepiana. The Quincy Jidema a day Tinsha Pola da Lady Arrow Shutia Masia Aqua Credible Le Guesra Mulable Aqua Credi. A Tinsha Pola the Aqua Credi Porai Body. Loya on Yogi Ma Nagurego Pinsin Taya de Sorabody. I think so near. Now, Homu Poca stay outside. Check a mess or Shimapa. Pimu Poca stay outside, change a mess or Shimapa Savilo. Take it of Mate Kamara Shidalo. See a Mate Kamala, Dramu Poca stay outside, change a mess or Shimapa. Lamu Poga say outside Chinga Meswa Shimapa. Shamu Poga say outside Chinga Meswa Shimapa, I take to Amava. Sujavazo Jamboma tout high Chira Yachi Pipi Boli. Trouble ascending Chini solution, Edisi, secretly Sayadaw. That Tramu Pola Wami. Tramu Poga see outside Chinga Meswa Shimapa. See Asayame. Tramu Pola and Edisi secretly Yauta out. Abudu Don Avo. They all level you as you time and change time at a day you are ready to go. The Tramu Poga see outside Chinga. Kainia, who I own a dear Shumata Sina, I own a Shumata Sina. Yamya Shuba, Yada Malopa Zina, Suravolidawa. Lamu Boga say outside Chinga Meswa Shumapa. Chamu Boga say outside Chinga Meswa Shumapa Suravoli. Sware Tone Hane Chare, Eddie, say outside Chinga Spirit. စိတ်ဆွမ်းအားလေးရတော့အမြဲတစေပါနေရပါတယ်အဲ့ဒီဆွမ်းအားတစ်ခုရော့သွားမယ်သုံးခုတစ်ခုလုံးမရှိဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့လှမ်းတာလှမ်းနေတယ်ဘာမှညာမှမသိမှာမဟုတ်ဘူးအဲ့လိုဖြစ်တတ်ပါတယ်
The first thing for the yogis is to remember that at the moment the object arises, to apply effort and aiming, to do this steadfastly. Our whole body is a large field of observation, and within that field of observation, the large field of observation, there are objects newly arising all the time, things to be observed. This is called the object of observation. So every time an object appears, becomes apparent to the yogi, then the yogi must be ready to observe it. And just as in sitting, at the moment of the rising, one has to apply effort and aim each time. At the moment the falling appears, one has to apply effort and aim. So too in the walking, at the moment of lifting, apply effort, aim. Every time do this steadfastly. At the moment of moving, apply effort and aim steadfastly. At the moment of placing, apply effort and aim. Observe steadfastly each time. So let's say we're standing and we're about to lift the leg, whether it's the left leg or the right leg, we're about to lift. So we need to put our mind on the leg that's about to lift. And then the lifting happens. That's the moment of lifting. So we apply effort, mental energy to get the mind there, and we also apply aiming, accurate aim. We have to do this each time. Ardent effort to get the mind to the object, and accurate aim so that the mind meets the object directly. The mind must meet the object exactly. We need to always observe like this. And we need to make sure that every time the foot lifts, that we apply effort and aiming. At the moment of moving also, apply effort and aiming each time. At the moment of placing, apply aiming and each time, and effort, aiming and effort each time. So every time we lift, or move, or place, these two mental energies of effort and aiming need to be there. And if one of them or both of them are missing, then at that moment, at the time of lifting or moving or placing, one won't know anything if either one of these factors is missing or if both are.
အများစုလူသားတွေဟာတဘောဝစာအတွက်စောင့်နေရေးပေါ်လို့ဖြစ်ဖို့အဲ့ဒီဘက်တော့အားရအသုံးချကြပါလားဒီလောက်အောင်လည်းအဆုံးချတာလည်းရှိပါလားဒါပေမဲ့လို့အဲ့ဒီအသုံးချလိုက်တဲ့အားတွေကလူပိသားဖို့နဲ့လူတို့စိတ်ထားတတ်ဖို့လူပညာရှိပြီးတော့လူတက်လူဖြစ်ဖို့ကိုယ်ကြည်တရားနဲ့စပ်ပြီးတော့တကယ်လူထိတ်တန်းစားဖြစ်ဖို့ဆိုတာမပါပါဘူးခုမှတော့အင်အားတွေပေါ့လေဒီလောက်သုံးချနိုင်ပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီမှာဘဝမှာကကျရှိနေလို့တဲ့တရားတွေအထုတဲ့ခါမှာ ပို့ပြီးတော့စစ်စစ်ဆက်ဆက်အသုံးချတတ်ဖို့သိအရေးကြီးပါတယ်အချိန်တိုတိုလေးနဲ့အသုံးချလိုက်လို့ရှိရင်တဘဝစာအတွက်ကိုဟိုတန်တရားစာအတွက်ကိုကိုယ်မှာအမဂ္ဂကျရှိတဲ့တရားတွေရသွားမှာပဲဒါကြောင့်မလို့ခွေးတို့ကယောဂီတွေကိုအထူးတိုက်တွန်းနေရတာပါဘဝအမဂ္ဂကျတေချာတဲ့ဘဝအမဂ္ဂကျတကယ်လိုအပ်တဲ့ဘဝအမဂ္ဂကျရစေခြင်းလို့တိုက်တွန်းနေရတာပါ
Most people just think about getting enough materially for one lifetime. They just think about what they need in this one life. And for this, they use their energy. But using our effort in this way for getting things materially won't make us a true human being. It won't purify our mind, and it won't help us to develop special human knowledge. So it doesn't amount to keeping moral behavior. It won't make our behavior good, and it doesn't have, just making our living doesn't have the capacity to make our status of life high. So being in the area of practicing Dhamma, we should apply our effort to this work because it is not just for one life, it's for many lifetimes in samsara. We can get a guaranteed type of happiness. We can get a benefit that is guaranteed. Because Sayadawgyi wants us to get this type of guaranteed benefit for our life, he's urging us in this way.
Trouble for Nera Sika Lucha Tetra Hushi Pilate the Volley of one. Pero si se te vuelve lo pone la favor. Yo diré de vos le pago hoy. Yo diré si se te dale pago hoy. Era le paga con la yo tiempo ni el hipoma. Secretlyရောက်တော့ဘုရားပြအားစိတ်တဲ့အတွက်အတ္တပခေါ်ပါတယ်ဘုရားပြအားစိတ်ကိုလေအေးစစ်စစ်ဖြစ်သွားဘူးလူကြနေတော့စိတ်ဟာနိုင်ပြီးတာမရှိတော့ဘူးဖြတ်လက်တက်ကြွနေတော့ဆေးလေးနှိမ့်ကန်လည်းမရှိတော့ဘူးဒီကဘုရားပြအားစိတ်မှုဝိရိယကကျွမ်းမှုပေါ်မှာပေါ့လေရှိနေထားတာခံထားတာခုကအရောက်နေဒီတော့အတ္တဘလုံးလဝရိယပါတဲ့စိတ်အစဉ်လေးတော့ဖြစ်သွားပြီအဲ့ဒီစိတ်အစဉ်လေးဟာပိဋိပြည့်တွဲဖြစ်လို့အပြင်းကဇာကိလေသာဝင်ခွင့်မရတော့တာမရတာပေါ့လေအဲ့တော့တားထားလိုက်တယ်တားတယ်ဆိုတာကဖြစ်ခွင့်မပေးတာပါပဲဟုတ်တယ်တစ်ဖက်ကလည်းဖောင်းရဲ့အကြည့်နဲ့ချိန်သားခဲ့အောင်ဆိုရင်တဲ့အောင်ဆိုပြီးတော့ရွယ်စုထားတယ်ချိန်သားကဖြစ်အောင်လုပ်ထားတယ်ချိန်သားကဖြစ်အောင်လုပ်ထားတော့အဲ့ဒီအင်္ဂါလေးပါနေရင်စိတ်ကတခြားချိုတော့မို့တော့မရှိတော့ဒီပုံမှာပဲတဲ့ကြနေတာပဲအဲ့ဒီစိတ်ကလေးစဉ်းစားဖို့မြေရာအဝိနမစိတ်နဲ့တက်ပြီးတော့နေလို့ရှိရင်ဒီစိတ်ကလေးဟာလို့ချဖြတ်လိုက်တာပါစိတ်လေးဖြင့်ထိုင်မှန်ပြီးသွားတာမရှိတော့ဘူးလမ်းဆန်းဆန်းဖြစ်နေတာပဲ ဒီတော့ပေါ်ချင်းအောင်စီရောက်အောင်လို့ဘုရားပြအဆက်ရတာနဲ့ချိန်သားကြိုက်ပြရတာဟာယောဂီမှာအမြဲတမ်းစိတ်ကတိုင်းလိုအပ်တယ်ဆိုတာပေါ့လေအဲ့ဒီအတိစိတ်ကလေးအမြဲတမ်းရှိထားဖို့သိရရှိပါတယ်အဲ့ဒီစိတ်ကလေးရှိထားလို့ရှိရင်တရကတံပညာတပ္ပယတံပညာဆိုတာပေါ့လေကျိုးရှိတိပတိချစ်နိုင်တဲ့ပြင်ဆင်မှုလေးရပေါ်လာတာပါဗျာအဲ့ဒီပြင်ဆင်မှုလေးရှိလာလို့ရှိရင်နောက်ကဝရိယတို့ခန္ဓာအာဆိုင်မှုဝရိယတို့ချိန်တတ်ကြမှုဆိုတော့ပေါ်လာတာပါပဲ
As soon as the lifting arises, one has to always put the mind there. And because of that, making that effort, the mind will be alert. Alertness will come. And also meticulous care will come from continually making the effort to put the mind on the lifting as soon as it happens. And further respect for the practice will come. And so when these are present, because one is applying effort to observe the lifting as soon as it happens, the mind is not cool. It has this ardent effort. And the mind is alert. It's not sluggish or lazy. This type of effort is called ardent effort. Atapa in Pali. The mind is established, is settled on the lifting. And the mind stream, the continuity of mind possessing virya, energy, is occurring. This mind is free of kilesas. It's free of laziness and the other kilesas because these are prevented from occurring. And as soon as the lifting arises, one aims so as to be accurate, so that the mind meets the object accurately. Because of aiming, the mind doesn't slip off the object. It's established, it's fixed on the object. So we should consider how the mind is at this point. When we always apply effort, then the mind is alert, it's not sluggish. With aiming, the mind is fresh. These two factors, the application of ardent energy and accurate aim, are what the yogi needs every second of the time. So one should try to nurture these two factors, and the attitude of always trying to have aiming and effort. When you do this, then the two types of clear comprehension that Sayadawgyi mentioned, Sataka Sampajanya, the understanding of what is beneficial and what is not beneficial to do, the understanding of what is suitable and what is not suitable to do, will arise. And because of those two types of clear comprehension, effort and aiming will arise again and again.
Edi lo wuriya tati sei asai chei lakai phit la de kha ma edi sei asu de ma pasara satta sa win twa da ba sei kli ji twa da ba twa ji li mu le ya da nauk chu de kin pi do eda le ya sa win la da ba so sei ji twa de so lo shi ye tama kuna wuriya lebe asai pidala wuriya ri asai tela da be edi wuriya ga akaw la bi so lo shi ye akhet khe de ko yi san yin ye ro da be tatti ri le po kaung la da ba da tatti kaung da lo tariya lebe nauk pain ga so so bi me hmat mi la da be so so bi hmat mi bi so lo shi sai ka be ma ma pi ro be de edi hmat mi ya ayung ma be su sai pi ro ka de ko စိုက်ပြီးတော့ငြိမ်းချနေတာပဲဒါလည်းအဲ့ဒါတွေလည်းနောက်ပိုင်းဖြစ်လာတာပဲ
Like that, when virya, sati, and aiming are occurring, in that mind, pasada sada, or clear faith, arises. It comes into the mind. And this has the quality of making the mind clear, not muddy. So when the mind becomes clear like this, because of the type of faith that arises, to the extent that one applies effort, its momentum increases. And this virya is courageous. It is courageous enough to meet anything. Sati also becomes better. And at that time, one is able to observe steadfastly. The mind doesn't go anywhere else. It just falls calmly and collectedly on the object of observation. This comes later.
Chore, I lo asai biro. See asai na kai biro. Kona tati le malotan phila. Jidra le be phila re, tati le be phila re. Samadhi le be phit twa da be sai cha ni la. အဲ့ဒါတိုးတက်လာတာပေါ့စိတ်နဲ့စိတ်ထားလေးတိုးတက်လာတာအဲ့ဒါဘာဝနာခေါ်တာပဲအဲ့ဒါလေးတွေပါတဲ့စိတ်အစုလေးတွေပေါ့လေအဲ့ဒါဘာဝနာပဲ10မိနစ်ဆိုရင်စက္ကန့်ပေါင်း60ဆိုတော့တစ်စက္ကန့်မှာတစ်ချိန်ချတွက်ရင်အချိန်ပေါင်း60ပေါ့လေအဲ့ဒီစိတ်အားစိတ်ချိန်သားပဲကပ်ပြီးတော့မှတ်တဲ့အတွက်ကြည်တရာရဲ့ကြည်တတ်တာရဲ့စိတ်ကလေးကြည်တာရဲ့ခုနမှန်မှန်ဝိရိယလေးတွေတဖြည်းဖြည်းကောင်းလာတာရဲ့တတိလေးတွေဖြစ်လာတာရဲ့ဒီမှာဆက်ဆက်ကြတာရဲ့အဲ့ဒါပဲအဲ့ဒါအကြောင်းရင်းရှာလိုက်လို့ရှိရင်စပြိုကျိုးပါအထုံးမှုဆိုတာပေါ့လေအခက်အခဲကျုံလာလို့ရှိရင်အပြင်းဝင်လာတတ်တယ်အပြင်းကိုကြော်ဖြတ်တဲ့အထိကြော်လွန်တဲ့အထိမမုန်းနိုင်တဲ့အထိပေါ့လေတဆင့်တိုးပြီးတော့ကျိုးပါအထုံးမှုဆိုတာပေါ့လေအဲ့ဒီဝိရိယလေးကြီးရှိလို့ဆိုတာပေါ့လေဒီလိုအခြေအနေရောက်လာတဲ့ဆိုတာနားလည်ရပါတယ်အဲ့လိုအခြေအနေရောက်အောင်အဲ့ဒီအခြေအနေဆိုင်အောင်အထုတ်နိုင်ပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ဒီပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ဟာယောဂီပိဋကစပြုပါပြီ
If one applies effort and accurate aim every time one lifts the foot, then sati also occurs each time, as well as clear faith and samadhi, concentration. This is called developing the mind. This mind is progressing, and this is called bhavana. This collection of mental qualities is also called bhavana. If in 1 minute, every second, one applies effort, then there will be clear faith, the mind will be clear. The effort will get better, sati will occur, and the mind become collected. If we look at what is the initial cause for this to happen, it is making initial effort. And when one meets difficulties, there's a tendency for laziness to come in, one backs off. And at that time, one boosts one's effort. So this also is the cause for the situation, the bhavana mind, to arise. And if one can practice to reach this stage, then this is the start of being a true yogi.
အဲဒီလိုဖြစ်သွားတဲ့အခါမှာသောမှုဘောကဆရာဆိုင်ချိန်ခိုင်မြတ်စွာရှိမှပါဒီခိုက်တာမှာခုနစောစောပိုင်းကပြောခဲ့တဲ့စိတ်အညီကျဲတွေပေါ့လေအပြင်းထူတာတွေစိတ်တွေချော်တော်ငေါ့ထွက်တာတွေတတိမဲ့တာတွေစိတ်ဆူဆိုင်မှုမရှိလို့တောင်ပြေးမြောက်ပြေးတောင်ရောက်မြောက်ရောက်တာတွေရသောအပြင်ကာမဂုဏ်အယောက်စီရောက်တာတွေဒါတွေပေါ့အဲ့ဒီဟာတွေစိတ်အညီကြည်တွေခေါ်ပါတယ်စိတ်အညီကြည်ကင်းစင်ဝေးတဲ့ခုနအမှတ်ကလေးတွေပြီးသားသွားလို့ရှိရင်ကင်းသွားတာပဲအမှတ်ကလေးတစ်ခုနဲ့တစ်ခုဆက်နေလို့ရှိရင်ဝေးသွားတာပဲကင်းစင်ကျဲပြီးတော့ဝေးသွားတာအဲ့ဒါဟာလည်းငင်းအကျိုးပဲဆိုတာနားလည်ဖို့ပါပဲစိတ်ညီကြည်ကင်းစင်ဝေးဘာဖြစ်လို့နောက်ပိုင်းက
counter a member ဟမ် counter a member
ဖြစ်အမှန်ပဲပေါ့လေဖြစ်လာတာပဲဒါနိယာမပဲဒါဒိဋ္ဌိသတ်မှတ်ချက်ပဲဒီလုံးလုံးရင်ဒီအကျိုးနောက်ပိုင်းကကတ်လိုက်လာတယ်ဆိုတာပေါ့လေ
When it occurs like this, at the moment of lifting, one applies effort, accurate aim, and observes steadfastly. Then the mental defilements, the dirt of the mind, for example, thick laziness, the mind slipping off the object, forgetfulness, the scattered mind, because there's no collectedness of mind, and for the most part, this means going to objects of sense desire. All these things are called the dirt of the mind, and this dirt is removed because of the application of effort and aiming and steadfast observation. So not only are they removed, but if the observation is continuous so that one moment follows another, these are far removed. And this is the present benefit of the practice. So these benefits are sure to come from application of effort and aiming.
Eri amate ma kuna awne masine te o yuezu mu so le san thabo li pa twa da a sai pi loချိန်မှလို့kunaကြော်စေခဏမှာထင်ရှားတဲ့ရုပ်အာယုံပို့ကြော်ပြီးတော့တက်လာတယ်ပေါ့လေစိတ်သဘောကြော်ခြင်းနဲ့စိတ်အစဉ်စဉ်ဒီရှားရတခုစုစီတဲ့ရောက်သွားလို့ရှိရဲ့အဲ့ဒီအာယုံနဲ့စိတ်နဲ့ချိန်ပြီးတော့ပုတ်တိုက်ပြီးသွားတာပဲအာယုံနဲ့ထိမိသွားပြီပုတ်တိုက်ပြီးသွားပြီဆိုတော့ပေါ့လေထိထိမိမိရှိသွားပြီဟောယောဂီရဓမ္မကောင်းနားလေတယ်ကောင်းနားလေလာပြီဆိုရင်နောက်ပိုင်းကအာယုံနဲ့ထိမိသလောက်ကျင့်တတ်မှုတွေပျော်ရွှင်မှုတွေလိုက်လာတာပဲနေလို့ထိုင်လို့ကောင်းတာလေးအေးချမ်းတာလေးဒါလေးအလိုလိုလိုက်လာတာပဲဒါသိကြတယ်အဲ့ဒါကဆံသဘောပဲ
In that moment of noting, there's aiming, which is a jhanic factor. Because of accurate aim, the mind connects with the matter that happens in the moment of lifting, and one knows that in the lifting it gets light and goes up. One knows also the intention to lift occurring in a series. So the mind connects effectively with the object. It's as though it rubs against the object. This follows on the accurate aim. And at that time, the yogi understands very well. So to the extent that the mind connects accurately with the object, as though it's rubbing against the object, there's satisfaction, a feeling of well-being, and joy and calm. This is the nature of jhana. So yogis who reach this stage start to be happy with the practice. And they understand that because of the practice, this good situation arose. So they know to keep on trying to continue so that they will continue to get good results. So they learn a lesson in how to do the practice. And at this stage is called citta visuddhi, purity of mind. The mind is free of defilements, free of mental dirt, and also calm starts to arise.
ခုတရားထုတ်တဲ့ခါမျိုးမှာလည်းပဲအထုတ်တဲ့နီးသေးသေးချာချာသိထားဖို့သိအရေးကြီးတယ်မိမိဖို့ကလည်းပဲပေါ်တဲ့အောင်နဲ့မတက်စိတ်နဲ့တဲ့အောင်အဲ့ဒီစီရောက်သွားအောင်စိတ်အားဆိုင်မှုနဲ့တဲ့အောင်ချိန်သားခဲ့ပြီးတော့မှတ်ပြီးတော့မိမိအလုပ်ပဲခုနကဏ္ဍတွက်တာနဲ့အတူတူပဲဒါပဲရှိတယ်ဒီတော့ဒါလေးအထုတ်လို့ရှိဘာတွေဖြစ်လာမလဲဆိုတော့စဉ်းစားမှုမျိုးတော့အဲ့ဒါမျိုးတော့အရှင်းမရှိကြပါနဲ့အဲ့ဒါမျိုးထားလို့ရှိရင်တော့တလားအထုတ်လဲဘာမှထူမှာမဟုတ်ပါဘူးနှစ်လားအထုတ်လဲဘာမှထူမှာမဟုတ်ပါဘူးတစ်နှစ်အထုတ်လဲဘာမှထူမှာမဟုတ်ဘူးဘာဖြစ်လို့လဲဆိုတော့အောင်နဲ့မစိတ်နဲ့ချိတိမိမိမရှိလို့ပေါ့လေဒီမှာဒါပါပဲဒီတော့ရရှိတဲ့အချိန်လေးကိုယောဂီပြီးပေါ့လေဖြက်ကလေးအာယုပေါ်တော့နဲ့ဒီရတဲ့ဆက်ကလေးဆိုဒီကစိတ်ရောက်တော့တွန်းအားနဲ့တဲ့အောင်လို့ပေါ့လေချိန်အားလေးစိတ်ကနေမလားရှိနေဖို့သိလိုအပ်တယ်ဆိုတော့ပေါ့လေကိုပြောတဲ့အတိုင်းနားလည်ပြီးတော့ယုံကြည်ကြည်နဲ့စိတ်ပါလည်းပါအထုတ်ကြဖို့ရံပေါ့လေဒီနေ့လေးလေးနဲ့တိုက်တွန်းပါလေ
When this mind occurs continuously, the clean mind, and this clean mind becomes well developed, full of energy, then one is sure to see mind and matter, matter and mind occurring. And one sees that when one observes the lifting, it's as though it's pushing up from below, or it gets light and it goes up. One sees that this happens bit by bit in a gross way. And one also knows the intention to lift, which is mind. The intention, mind, and the lifting, the matter or rupa. One distinguishes these clearly. When the mind becomes full of energy at this stage, one sees that there's a series of intentions to lift the foot. And because of this series of intentions, there's a series of lifting. Matter occurs in a series. One comes to know this. There's no need to think about cause and effect. Simply at the moment of lifting, observe effectively so that the mind rubs against the object, so that the mind is clean, because then knowledge will arise automatically. Some yogis ask, well, what is it that I'll know? What is it that will happen when I note this? One should just observe. And by observing in the method shown, one will get the answer. When we're working a math problem, the method of working out the problem is what is most important. And each step of the way, when we apply the method, we get closer to the answer. And then the answer emerges. So it's not so important to know the answer. What is important is to know the method. And at this stage in the practice, now that we are practicing, what is important is to know the method of practice accurately. And to make accurate aim and apply effort to observe the object every time it appears. There shouldn't be any asking, what is it that will appear? So if one asks questions like this without applying aim and effort, then it doesn't matter if one practices 1 month, there won't be any knowledge developed. 2 months, no knowledge. 1 year, there won't be any difference, because the mind is not observing the object effectively. So what is needed is the energy of pushing the mind to the object, and also the energy of accurate aim. And Sayadawgyi hopes that all of you will have confidence in this and apply this method wholeheartedly, confidently. That's all for today. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.